I'm into like space, like stars and stuff.
I think that stuff's kind of dope.
Yeah, before this video begins, guys, I just started a second channel. Go to the link down in the description below and click that. Follow the second channel. I'll be posting like different kinds of videos. Like could be gaming stuff or reaction stuff with all my friends that do YouTube. So that'll be a lot of fun. Description down below with the exclusive content I'm making for that channel, so go check it out.
So today, guys, we're doing a question and answer. I put up on my Instagram, I think it was Friday maybe, I had you guys ask me a bunch of questions, as well as I made a post on YouTube, a community post asking for you guys to ask me some questions. And there's a ton of questions to get through, a lot of repeats, so I'll just answer those once, as well as like just a bazillion other random things I didn't think I'd be getting asked, but I'm happy to answer all this stuff. That being said, since there is so much, there could be multiple videos. I'm just gonna scroll through these, as well as go on the YouTube post and check out the questions you guys ask. Before we jump in, guys, remember to go check out all my other social medias. Check out my Instagram, where I had you guys answer all these questions. On Instagram, guys, I give away free merch from time to time. We do giveaways, so if you want some MUNN merch, head over to my Instagram, follow me there, as well as check out my Spotify, because that's what I do. I make music, so I'd love you guys to check out my music there. Look up MUNN, M-U-N-N, and you'll find my Spotify. I'm just gonna start at the bottom, so if people ask first, get answered first, and we'll see how far we get through these things. If I see repeats, I will just skip over it. I'm debating if we should start with the YouTube questions or the Instagram questions. I think we're gonna go Instagram. I want you guys to follow my Instagram. Make sure to do that. Go check me out on Instagram. Like I said, free merch and fun stuff like that. But I'm gonna jump right in with the first questions that were being asked. What inspires you to write music is the first question. This is a question I get quite a bit. I think there's just so many things, like it's changed. Like when I started making music, the first thing that inspired me was definitely the pain I was going through and trying to like express that. Ultimately turned into like my form of healing. So I was like out of a broken relationship, and I was just like hurting, and it just like turned to music, made a song, had no idea what I was doing. I just kept doing it, and it helped me. It apparently helped others, because people would message me like, hey, keep making music, this helps me out. And the more that came in, I was realizing like this is maybe what I should actually try and do. So that's really what inspired me to write music. Here's one. Hey, what age did you learn to sing and where? I don't remember like a distinct time where I learned to sing. I remember the first time, well, I remember one of the first times, like I remember singing and be like, wow, that was actually kind of good. And that was like way back. But how I learned to sing, I mean, I hate to say it's one of those things that some people have it, some people don't. It's definitely something you can develop. But I think like ultimately, like you're born with a voice that can learn to sing or not learn to sing. It's kind of up to you if you learn to use it. But yeah, I was probably, I would guess 12, 13-ish, like junior high, however old you are in junior high. I honestly don't even know. Here is another one. Which song you wrote means the most to you? That's tough. Mainly not,
Jeez, that is really tough.
I feel like it's so tough because like when I first started writing music, like obviously my music wasn't as good, but I feel like it might have meant more to me just because of the reason why I was writing. It was just purely because I was hurting so much, and like it like just had such a big impact on me. So some of those early songs mean so much to me. Even when like once in a while, like I'll go through my catalog and I'll just be like, yeah, these ones like hit hard. If I had to pick one, that's so tough. The song that means the most to me, dang. I want to say I Lost Myself, but I think I'm cheating just because that's like, that song means a lot to me in the sense that like it's taken me a long ways, but I don't know if it actually like has the most meaning in it for me. I would say here, Lonely House. I would definitely say Lonely House. Excuse me. Lonely House, I mean, for a bunch of reasons. Like this song was just like super special, like how it came to be. Like I wrote it in Florida on a vacation with my family the week before I quit school, and then I released it a year from date when I was back in Florida with my family again, exactly a year after the night I wrote it. It's not the biggest by any means, but it definitely means the most to me. Next question. Hey there, MUNN. Wanted to ask what motivates or inspires you to write music at tough times? Tough times is like sort of different for everyone. I guess like for me, sometimes those tough times is what inspires me to write the music. A lot of the motivation has switched lately into just like building the biggest platform I can to help other people. Even when things are kind of sucky and maybe the numbers are down and people aren't listening as much, I just keep writing so that I can continue to build what we have and hopefully help more people someday and be able to do this on a bigger scale. How do you find melody for your songs? That's such a hard thing to explain. I mean, like if you're like looking like as a beginner trying to figure out, a great way to do it is just go on YouTube, look up some beats, and then just like sing along to the beat and just like hum something random. There's in-depth stuff into it where like it's like a formula almost, where you create like a formula into the melody where you're hitting certain notes that like leave the listener on an edge, like waiting for the next part, and like you can have like notes that have resolution, notes that don't have resolution, and just like the way you use notes. That's honestly not something I do very often. Like I think about that so rarely. Like it's not something I even think about. The way I make melodies is 99 out of 100 times, I'm just sitting there like humming to whatever, whether it's a guitar or whatever it is. So yeah, I don't think there's really any sort of like special way that I do it. What was the inspiration for I Lost Myself? Figured someone would ask that. Man, so I wrote that song like right before I moved to Nashville, and I was just like in this house by myself because my family had just moved, but all my equipment was in our old house. It was just a quiet place I could record. And I was just sitting there, and it just like came to me really fast, and I was just like thinking about like ways I've messed up in the past and how I feel like sometimes you can never get away from those. That's like the whole idea of the song, and it'll be like, I know they'll catch me, like my demons will catch me. And those demons are like our mistakes or my mistakes in my past and the stuff that I feel like weighing me down. And then the bridge of the song is like this cry out where I'm like, I swear I've changed. Like I can say now I've changed, I'm not the same person I was. And the lyrics go, but you don't care. You don't care that I'm not this, like, you don't care. Like people just like judge you so often for your past. And this whole song is about like trying to detach yourself from your mistakes and like how that weighs you down. And I think it's relatable for a lot of people. So yeah. What's the best advice you've ever been given? I saw that person respond and drop that like 3 days ago. And I thought about it a bunch. The conclusion I'm coming to is kind of like, just like from a lot of things I've been told, why not? Like, why not be that person that changes the world? Why not be that person that's like one of the biggest music artists in the world? Why not help 1 million people? Why not this? Why not be that person? I think that's come from people who have encouraged me and people who have said, you know, like God uses anyone to do like great things, and you don't have to be some like special person. And if you don't believe in God, then the universe, you know, like the universe will use small people to do big things. So like, why not me? And I think that's definitely motivates me like a ton, and really helps me to stay optimistic and to pursue this like I've been doing. So yeah, I would say the best advice is just to ask yourself, why not me? Why not be that person that changes the world? You want to get a dream job of being a lawyer, why not be that person that does that? Why not be the elementary school teacher? Both my sisters were. Why not be, you know, a police officer? Why not be a fireman? So all those different things you guys can be. Why not be that person that does it and does it amazingly and changes the world by doing it? How often do I do collabs? Pretty much never. I will almost always, if I'm going to do a collab, be asking someone to do it. I don't really do them when people ask. Not that it's like a personal thing. It's just really got to be the right person, right song, for fit for both fan bases. You got to have, generally I would like that person to have a fan base so that we can both benefit. But maybe if it's just like the perfect fit and you have no fan base, like whatever, maybe it works out, but generally it's not gonna be with someone who's never made music. Is there a true story to I Lost Myself? And if there is, story time. Yeah, I don't think I Lost Myself is like a specific one-off story. It's like the story of my life almost, or the story of my past, where like, it sounds like I've had this horrible past where I made these crazy mistakes. It's not necessarily that where I like
murdered someone and I can't escape this like reality of like,
things sometimes feel like they add up, and all these times you mess up and you just feel the weight of those. And so I guess it's not a specific story, but there's just times where I've messed up and I'll think back and I'm just like, damn, I just wish I would have done that differently. And that's kind of the idea of the song, just those things that are on your conscience. Will I ever visit Cyprus? If I can come play a show in Cyprus, I would be absolutely ecstatic. What's your favorite preferred way to begin a project? I like starting a project, definitely just come up with something on guitar and then just come up with melodies from there, and then kind of like building the song out from there. Definitely how I prefer to do it. How old were you when you started singing and or playing guitar? I started singing when I was like 12, 13-ish, maybe started taking it seriously. I was always singing around the house. My parents would tell, or maybe not as much my parents, but my siblings would be like, dude, shut up. Rightfully so, I sang way too much and I was not good. And with guitar, I don't know, I think I started playing guitar at like 15 or something like that. Mostly self-taught, and it shows because I suck. What was the hardest song to write? What is your favorite song you released? Favorite song I released is probably I Lost Myself. Hardest song to write was definitely stuff off my first EP. I don't know, I would just say my whole first EP, honestly. I don't want to name a specific song, but just my whole first EP was super, super hard to write. Even my second EP was hard to write. There's a lot of like heavy stuff for me. That's hard as in like emotionally hard, not like took forever. So there's some songs, like a recent one that hasn't come out yet, that I spent like 2 weeks trying to write a second verse and finally got it. So like that's a different type of hard for me. I'm talking like emotionally and draining, that type of hard. How'd you get your start in music? Man, I just, like I said earlier, I was feeling sad. I wrote a song. The song made me feel a little better. I was like, man, this could be like the way I healed. And like it was like the first thing after my breakup that made me like smile. Like played that thing back, and I was like, this is like great. Like not the song itself, but just the whole process of making music is great. And the song wasn't bad, but it was by no means some great song. It's actually still on my Spotify. It's the very first song. I see that's my start, and then after that I was just like had my friends share it on Instagram and just repeated the process. Song, share it on Instagram, song, share it to friends. It was a cycle that continued and just started growing. I love your songs. Thank you. What inspires you to write your songs? Answer that. How is life? Life is good. I mean, all things considered, life is good. I'm blessed. It's beyond, yeah, I'm very blessed. Life is good. It's hard sometimes. Being out in Nashville, away from friends and family is tough. You know, I feel like sometimes I'm missing out on like life. Like, I don't see I literally am watching my nephew grow up through FaceTime, and it kills me. And now I have a niece, and I have yet to meet her. I guess no, I saw her once, but I wasn't able to like hold her or anything because of COVID. Yeah, it just kind of kills me to watch like my nephew and niece grow up through FaceTime. And when I say like watch them grow up, it's like, you know, like I FaceTime him, and like 2 weeks later, when I FaceTime him again, it's like he's learned 20 new words, and I feel like he's like developed as a person so much, and I'm like not there for any of it. So like as far as that kind of stuff goes, it's really hard, but like, I mean, I'm blessed and life is good. What's your favorite genre of music? Man, I love a lot of music. For me, my favorite genre is like soft pop, like people like Dermot Kennedy, Lewis Capaldi. I also like music that's like kind of indie pop or like kind of left of pop, like Zachary Knowles or Christian French, people like that. I love that kind of music. Top 3 favorite songs I've made. So I've already said I Lost Myself is my favorite, and then Leave Out of Love, and then Fake Smiles or Come Home. I love Come Home. I didn't really write Come Home. Delaney, my friend Delaney wrote like the entire song, and we just like redid it together. So I didn't really write that song, but I love it. And that's why we did another version of it. My boy Clayton asked, where do you get your inspiration from, and why is it your friend Clayton? Dude, I get my inspiration from Clayton, and it is because he is
one heck of a dude.
Yeah, that was, yep. Who's your favorite barber? Who is my favorite barber? My favorite barber has got to be H.H. Oliver's in Brentwood, Tennessee. It's the place to go. Okay, how did you get into music, and any tips for someone who wants to start music or production career? Okay, so I talked a little about how I got into music. Let's talk about someone who wants to get into it. I say this to everyone who asks. I hate to say it's simple. Like, I don't want to sound arrogant. I don't want to sound like super entitled, but like it is genuinely kind of a simple process to get started. It is going on YouTube, finding a beat that you might like, that you want to sing to. It is in recording some vocals to that, which can be with a $20 microphone onto a computer, which most people get from their school now. If you don't, that's gonna be the hardest part to get, right? So the problem isn't as much obtaining the equipment to do it. It's relatively cheap now, almost anyone can do it. But like I said, just go on YouTube, find a beat, write some melodies, hum some stuff, and record it on a cheap microphone into GarageBand, and boom. Like, that's kind of how you get started. Make the song, cut the song. You can upload it on Spotify for free now. There's so many websites out that let you do that, and then have your friends share it on Instagram. And that's how I got my start. I think that's how you guys can get your start too. We need a new album. I'm telling you, it could be a hot minute before I make an album. I just don't think I have the fan base to consume a full album right now. Which was your first song? My first song was I Tried. When am I visiting? This is a friend in California. I am visiting California in late September, so I will come say hi to you guys for sure. Do all my songs relate to me? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, yeah, for sure. Like, I relate to all of them on some level or another. Maybe they're not all personally my story, but they're like something I feel or sympathize for, or I've seen somebody go through. Which music software are you using for? I use Logic right now, Logic Pro X on MacBook. That's the only thing you can get it on is Apple. When did you start your music production? I'm kind of new to music production. Like, I haven't really got into it, like producing the actual instrumentals. I'm not super good at that. My manager, Dylan Stiles, he produces almost all my stuff. Yeah, like music production I'm not super into. I would love to get into. I'm just not great at it, but I would love to learn it more. What song do you love to cover? Oh, that's so good. Man, there's a lot of songs I love to cover. That's tough. I love to sing Ghost by Zachary Knowles. That's a dope song. I love the guitar. The guitar is so simple, which I love. And I know this is like an easy one, but Someone You Love by Lewis Capaldi. That's a fun one to sing. What inspires you to make a song? Please do shout out my name. Fan from the Philippines. Juby says she's a fan, and I just shouted her out. I can't think of any questions. Hi. Hello. Are you into space? Am I into space? I don't know what you mean. If you mean Boy in Space, the artist, hell yes, I love Boy in Space. If you mean like, if I'm into like space, like stars and stuff,
I think that stuff's kind of dope.
that was everything from Instagram. let's head over to YouTube. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, I think a lot of these questions I answered from Instagram. That was 40 minutes of filming, that was like 100 questions. Thank you for watching this video. I honestly am not gonna get all those questions in this video, so be sure to check out my other social medias, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff at @itismunn. Be sure to follow me there. Like I said, we do merch giveaways on Instagram from time to time and whatnot. Also check me out on TikTok if you want, @itismunn. Without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and end this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, I love you all.